and you're adulting with Amy and Lani.
Welcome to today's podcast. We are going to do something for the holidays. Can you tell? We're going to go through some holiday traditions from around the world, and there's some interesting ones here that I didn't know about, and Amy researched them and found out more information. So this is going to be fun and exciting.
It's certainly not a deep dive. There's some really fascinating cultural things we learned, and really what this is stemming from is to talk about the importance of traditions. What are traditions? What are rites and rituals? Why are those important? And then, since the holidays are around the corner and we're not at all eccentric, yes, Godzilla is in fact Santa, we thought we'd take a look at some of the other things out there too.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We're glad to see you.
Yes.
Here we go. So, what are traditions and rites? So, familial or cultural activities or observances that are passed from generation to generation and often hold some symbolic meanings for the practitioners is a tradition. Familial meaning, the things that we do within our families, and cultural. Oftentimes when we think about culture, we think about like a country of origin, but culture has far more reaching definitions than that. There can be an office culture, a community culture.
I never thought of it that way.
A culture, a certain religious culture within a congregation, those types of things. So we're going to explore some of that.
Okay.
And our traditions can be religious, secular or non-religious, political, and not necessarily based in any type of a historical context at all, but they are found in every single culture worldwide. Everything. There are traditions about rites of passage, different in every single culture. Marriages, for example, funerals, those types of things. Every single culture has traditions. So, what are rites?
Well, rites, are the rituals associated with the traditions. So here in Paso Robles, we have Pioneer Days, and everybody looks forward to it. The old tractors come out. There's a bean feed. It's a big festive event, and that is a tradition. Everybody looks forward to it. They know what to expect, and we have a big parade. Pep rallies. For the high schools, you can have your big pep rally to get everybody all excited and bonding together. Communion. When you're offering communion. Baptisms are another one. Hazing.
I wish there was a different word for that.
Well, yeah.
There are traditions of welcome that are not negative.
Right. Well, and there you go. There's a really good example because you can take anything to a negative or to a positive.
True. Good point.
And it's really your choice on how you're going to view this. But so hazing in a positive sense would be welcoming new students to a club or community bonding event.
Oh, like Week of Welcome at Cal Poly.
Yeah.
That's a rite.
That's
RITE, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
What are some other acts
voting
that we do with our traditions? Oh yeah, voting.
Yeah, voting.
Please vote.
Yeah, that's coming up here real soon. Weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, funerals. Those are all rites of passages. An oath to a club or an organization, an oath of allegiance. That means that you're, committing to this group and what they're going to be doing, what they have to offer. You have a rite that you do.
We do have a tradition, and you have one too, so I hope you'll talk about that too. Yeah. We have, every year we've got a tradition in our family called Hollis holiday. Hollis being my maiden name. It's a family reunion. Everybody who's available comes. We do it in different locations depending on who needs to be where. We take votes on where to do this, when to do this, and it's just geared towards us all sharing that time together. And there are some goofy rituals that we do within that tradition. A pirate exchange of a homemade gift, a talent show.
Oh.
Talent show. What else? Just the lots of hugging. There's different games we play, like knots, where you tie yourself up in a knot and you have to undo. Everybody reaches in and just grabs a hand, and then you have to unfold.
Oh, that's funny.
It's fun. It's fun. Anyway, so that's one familial tradition that we have that we look forward to.
Cool. Well, we have what we call birthday weekend, and that's on in January around the 16th, 17th. And it started because my daughter was born the exact same day as my son-in-law's cousin, 1 year apart. So Matt was born 1 year, the next year Wendy was born, exact same day. So we get together and I bake a cake, whatever they want, and we celebrate the birthday, and it's usually at a family ranch where everybody congregates with their RVs, their tents, their campers, in the ranch house, and we just party all weekend. And I've had fun planning it out in the property somewhere in a little cove or in a canyon, or they do have a shooting range, so we've done it out there. It's just been a lot of fun, different places. So
what are some of the, outside of the cake, you already shared cake, but what are some of the other rites that you do, some of the other activities that you do within the tradition?
Well, there's not a whole lot other than congregating together and
to eat.
So yeah, we plan a big barbecue and
how fun.
Have a lot of food. Anyway,
so we want to hear about your traditions too, but I want to talk about, so what are traditions? Why are traditions important? One of the important things about traditions is that they really introduce us to the core systems, beliefs, festivities, and mores, sort of the cultural, moral, whatever that looks like. In other communities, they introduce us to those from other communities, other cultures, other families. I would love to go to a birthday weekend. I don't know if anybody wants to come to a Hollis holiday, because there have been Hollis holidays that have ended up with concussions, but that's another story for another time. Traditions, they bind us to our loved ones and our like-minded communities, or our loved ones being family and friends, and maybe even sometimes our coworkers, but they bind us. We have this activity in common. We know this is coming. We can plan for this. It establishes an opportunity for us to celebrate our belonging with each other and our togetherness with each other. We need that connectedness as human beings. It establishes an opportunity to reconnect with those we may not have seen since the last celebration, or maybe they didn't get to go to the last celebration. For example, I missed the last Hollis holiday. I was in the hospital. Boring. But I missed the fun that they were having. So I'm particularly looking forward to next year's. Our traditions create and reinforce our identity. And that belongingness is vital to our self-esteem, to our psychosocial wellness. In our hierarchy of needs, we have survival and belongingness. They're so important. That our traditions, like I say, they bind us.
I was going to share with you a funny story. When you were talking about this stuff, flashed into my mind that one birthday weekend they found an old couch and they put sleds. They made sleds to go underneath the couch, hooked it to the back of a Jeep, and it had been raining, so out in one of the fields, they took this Jeep, towing this couch
Oh my gosh.
with 3 people per ride, and we're spinning all around through the field. It was hilarious. They had a ball, and they all came back because the Jeep splattered the mud, and they were just covered in mud. It was really funny. I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that they do, and I can't remember everything, but
And that's the type of thing that those traditional gatherings do for us. They provide us with these memories that no one else
bring joy.
Experienced that, but we can see the expression on Lani's face when she's reliving it.
Yeah.
It makes it very special.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
All right.
moving into some of we're moving into the holiday season here, right? And everybody has their own personal traditions in those, but we were curious about what are some of the other holiday traditions around the world, and not that we are cultural experts by any means. In fact, one of these, the information I found was straight off of Wikipedia. But one of the most obvious ones is Christmas. And there is sort of a version of Christmas around the world. Do you want to talk about that for us?
A little bit. There's St. Lucia Day, and I'm not that familiar with that. There's St. Nicholas Day. There's Yule, and they're observed with gatherings. All of these are gatherings where people get together and they give some kind of a gift or caroling or some sort of religious observance, and food. Everything is always centered around food. But
I have an expression with one of my friends, but of course food.
I know. But anyhow, that's about all that I really have on that.
Yeah, I think that most of us are familiar enough with Christmas that there is enough to say there are variations of that.
Yeah.
Kwanzaa. Now, Kwanzaa was very fascinating to research. It actually started in 1966. It's a 7-day festival. It was originally based on a collection of African harvest festivals that already exist, and it ends with the feast. Each of the 7 days is dedicated to a very specific principle. And out of respect, I'm not even going to attempt to
try to
pronounce the day. But the first one is unity, which was intended to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. The second day is self-determination, which was to define and name the culture. It says ourselves, as well as to create and speak for the culture. It says ourselves. The third was collective work and responsibility, which is to build and maintain that African American community together and make, as it says, it's written, the brothers and sisters problems, they're each other's problems, and to solve them together. These concepts are phenomenal.
Well, and that's community.
Exactly.
When you have you talk about a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It's because people coming together. Yeah, these are really. I like this.
I found researching Kwanzaa powerful. I did.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah. The fourth is cooperative economics, to build and maintain their own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. I will say, remembering that this was established in 1966, now there's a huge emphasis, which is just phenomenal, on specifically, Black-owned businesses and supporting Black-owned businesses. I just love it. Anyway, the fifth is purpose, to make the collective vocation, the building and developing of the community in order to restore the people to their traditional greatness. it's just, they're powerful. It's powerful.
It is powerful.
The sixth is creativity, to do always as much as they can in the way they can in order to leave the community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Amen there.
Holy
That
cow,
is a
why is this
power-
not
that's powerful.
profound?
Yeah.
Profound.
Yeah.
And then the last day is faith, to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And when you look at that as specifically that African American tradition and festival, it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Incredibly powerful.
Whoever put that together was brilliant. I don't know if
I
it
can't
was a
remember
group
his
or
name. No, it was a
individual.
It was an individual, and there have been some changes to Kwanzaa over the decades. In fact, it is one of the things that I learned was that it has become a little more mainstream and a little more interracial. But these were the original tenets, and just very powerful. Why are we not all doing this all the time?
That's a wonderful creed.
It is. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And this is really sort of our halfway point as
Yeah.
well.
So if you're finding value in what we've been sharing so far, if you would hit the like button, and if you're new to our channel, welcome. But if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you will get updates when we do a posting. And if you have a comment, post it in the comment section below. If you have something you'd like us to research and bring back to you, we're more than welcome to do that. So you can either email it or put it in the comment section. And if you have questions, we'll try to get back to you within a 24-hour period, Monday through Friday.
You want to talk about Diwali?
I can.
It's beautiful images. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So Diwali is a Hindu 5-day festival of lights, and it celebrates victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance. Let's see, it's associated with different deities and religious events. It's celebrated in homes or the workplace. Places of worship are decorated with candles or oil lamps and lanterns. Let's see, they have parades, gatherings. They wear festive clothing. They have big feasts and fireworks. And all this precedes by renovations and a deep cleaning. So, and then you start your new year.
When I was looking for some of this information, the images are just
the Festival of Lights.
Stunning.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Hanukkah, it's also called the Festival of Lamps. It's an 8-day and night Jewish festival. It's commemorating the recovery of Jerusalem and subsequent rededication of the Second Temple in the 2nd century BCE. It's a series of symbolic candle lighting games. It's also gift giving, but they're not it's not the same types of extravagant gift giving that we might associate with Christmas. Symbolic feasts, and the feast it's a storytelling. Each element on the plate has a specific part in the story go ahead. You're itching to say something.
I was, because I was part of a home fellowship for quite a while, and we wanted to, and we're Christians, but we're open to other cultures and other beliefs, and wanting to know and understand. We don't think that we should exclude anybody. And so one year we did the traditional Jewish celebration, and we had a dish with each of the different foods. It was really interesting, and we learned some of the games. It was a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that we got to do that. That was a real memorable moment for me.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and it is Hanukkah is deeply steeped in cultural and religious tradition.
Every dish had
and
a
I'm with-
story to tell.
Yeah, I'm with Lani. I love being invited to participate in as many different cultural things as I can. It takes all of us, in my opinion. We need each other. We need each other's examples. We need each other's support and experiences. And anyway, okay.
Oh, you're gonna do this one. I'm not.
Am I blushing?
Oh,
Krampus Night. Now, I have chosen to include this because it just cracks me up. It's terrible. It's terrible. Krampus is, he's a fearsome creature, seen really as the antithesis of St. Nicholas or Santa Claus, in that he's used for keeping the naughty in line, whereas Santa is rewarding the good, right? Naughty behavior is Krampus, good behavior is St. Nicholas or Santa Claus. You see, he's horrible. He's horrible. He's depicted as really rather devil-like. There are still countries in Europe that do traditional parades. You'll see Krampus in things such as Krampuslauf or the Krampus Run, where young men dress as Krampus, attempt to terrify and scare the onlookers of this parade. It's terrible, and it just cracks me up. In 1932, I think it was 32, the Austrian government actually outlawed Krampus. And in the 50s, there were pamphlets distributed talking about how Krampus is detrimental to the mental health of children.
I can see that.
Absolutely, I can see that. The way that Krampus worked was, Santa brings us gifts when we're good, and Krampus would beat the naughty children with birch sticks. And carry them off. So, that's a little detrimental. There has been a resurgence of Krampus in modern culture. The emphasis has sort of switched into, Krampus being still scary, but more like we do with the spook houses, that fun, scary, that adrenaline that some people seek. However, Krampus is still controversial. Even in the Krampus runs, there are times when people will be injured. People will go after the Krampuses and hurt them. But I'm sorry, I think it's funny. Now you know I'm twisted. I'm twisted. And then there's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Posadas. Are you going to tell us about Posadas?
Well, I can. It's a Mexican tradition that started in 1586. It extended devotion prayer lasting 9 days. It had various pageants, reenactments of Mary and Joseph arriving in Bethlehem and looking for an inn. Each night ended with singing and clay piñatas for the children and feasting. We love our feast. All of them. Yep.
I know that in one Mexican community talks about when they do posadas, then the chosen Mary and Joseph actually will go door to door, just to different doors looking for an inn. And the tradition is, of course, they're going to be turned away, but not without some type of a gift, some type of a food, a treat, or something.
That's cool. That's cool.
Winter solstice.
Winter solstice.
So I am going to quote this from an article that we're going to provide you the link for, because it's just great. That's the Aaron Ferrer and Katie Zambrano wrote this whole article on how to celebrate the winter solstice. When I was looking for a succinct definition, this was just the best. So I'm going to provide, I am going to have my staff provide you with the link.
I'm the staff.
So I'm going to just read this quote to you. Astronomically, the winter solstice marks the end of fall and beginning of winter, And early pagan winter solstice traditions were created to celebrate, quote, the birth of the sun. I love that idea. The occasion is marked with sweet and traditional winter solstice rituals, from brewing mulled cider and eating winter solstice foods, I would like to know what those are, to lighting lanterns, reciting winter solstice quotes, striking special yoga moves, and setting intentions for the season ahead.
Well, I'll be able to share more about that as I go through my journey on herbalism. So, yeah, I'll be learning a whole lot more, because the winter solstice and the summer solstice are really a very important part of herb science, and when things are to be harvested. So I'll have
that's
more.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. A stay tuned moment.
Yeah. Next year.
I like it. I like it.
It takes me 2.5 years to get through the course, but I'll be learning more about this.
And you are doing it. Growth mindset, folks. This woman is amazing. Okay. I think this is our last one.
Oh, New Year's. Now, who doesn't like celebrating New Year's? But there's a lot of different religions that celebrate New Year's differently. The first New Year's was celebrated back, 4,000 years ago?
I don't know why that startled me when we discovered that.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Julius Caesar, who was the emperor of Rome, was the first to declare January 1st a national holiday. All right. So he named the month after Janus, the Roman god of doors and gates. Janus had two faces, one looking forward and one looking back. Caesar felt that a month named after this god would be fitting. And, weren't the Romans the one that created the calendar that we're using now? So that makes sense that it would be Caesar who actually declared New Year's the beginning of starting it all over again. Yeah, the new calendar. Anyway.
What would happen if we just decided, you know what, from now on, November 4th is the first of the year?
That's your birthday.
So there are many traditions associated with New Year's.
There are.
Worldwide, but some of the ones we do just here in the States are pretty cool.
Yeah, New Year's resolutions, what is it you want to change or incorporate, or, New Year's resolutions, we always pick something, we're going to make a drastic change.
Smart goals.
Pivot. Make a little goal. Make a little goal. Make a new little resolution, and you're going to succeed. Eating greens and black-eyed peas symbolizes prosperity in the new year.
That's the champagne, the fireworks.
Yeah, the
countdown. The anticipation.
Yeah.
It seems so magic.
Well, and it's funny because we're in California, so when they're celebrating midnight, they're ahead of us, so we get to watch it earlier. We don't have to stay up till midnight. Yeah.
Time was when.
Yeah. But, about 1 million people gathering in Times Square in New York to watch the ball drop. But not only that, we're watching it on TV, and it's a big deal. But if you can't be there, watch it.
I learned the reason the dropping of the ball started, was because there was a ban on the fireworks.
Did not know that.
I didn't either.
I'll be darned.
Thank you, Adulting with Amy and Lani, for doing that research so that we can learn that.
Singing Auld Lang Syne.
Such a poignant song.
Yeah. That's always seems to be at New Year's parties, at midnight. Everybody's singing along, remembering your loved ones, with you or not, but and being with family and having a New Year's Eve celebration and a New Year's feast.
Because of course food.
Always have to have food. And, and there's a lot of creativity. People get all excited about the decorating and picking a theme, and it's a lot of fun. But we'd love to hear what some of your traditional New Year's holidays or would be. Anyway, this is,
And your family traditions.
yeah, that would be fun.
Give us a sneak.
Yeah,
Let us
we
be
love this
fly on
kind
your
of
wall.
stuff. Yeah. So this is where we're going to end today's video, and we want to thank you if you hung in there till the very end, and haven't subscribed. Now would be a good time to do that and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. And you know, if you have comments, post them down below. We'll be glad to check them out. We love to hear from you. And until next week, have a fabulous week.
Happy holidays. Be well.
Bye.